Pep Guardiola warned us about Rodri.
Not to be! Rodri! Rodri! Rodri!
But nobody believed him. Listen to this.
So, he's an unbelievable player. So, he's the best midfield player in the current world, by far. So, because he's able to do everything.
When Pep Guardiola looked into a camera and called Rodri the best midfielder in the world, by far, people laughed. They pointed at Fernandez's assists. They pointed at Vitinha's ball control. They pointed at Pedri, Bellingham, and every flashy superstar football had to offer. Because Rodri wasn't the player making headlines. He was the player who quietly controls everything. Now Spain are dominating another World Cup.
Doko's with him. There's the pull back. Good save. Spell. Goal. Moro. Olmo. The return. Pedro.
He's rolling back the years. He is reminding everybody who the hell he is.
Manchester City still look completely different whenever he's missing. And suddenly, football is realizing Pep wasn't exaggerating. He was warning us. So here's the real question. How does one player become more important than the team's biggest stars without anyone noticing? Rodri's first months at City were rough. He looked slow. He struggled to adapt to the Premier League's intensity. Fans questioned the €70 million fee. Atletico Madrid had let him go. Maybe they knew something City didn't, but Pep saw something others missed.
Him also having a lot of talks, with Pep when he first joined, because the first few months he struggled a little bit, but you could always see that he has the hunger, to improve, and by communicating that, by being on the training pitch, and obviously having Pep as his coach, helped him that much that he just elevated his game to a level that is uncomparable right now. He's the best midfielder in the world again for me.
Rodri wasn't just a defensive screen. He was a computer that processed the game faster than anyone else on the pitch. The problem was that processing speed didn't translate into flashy moments. It translated into positioning, into anticipation, into making the right decision before the wrong one became possible. The turning point came during the 2022-23 treble season. Rodri became the engine. He scored the Champions League final winner against Inter, sure, but more importantly, he simply stopped losing. For over a year, any game Rodri started, Manchester City did not lose. That 74-match unbeaten streak wasn't a coincidence. It was a direct result of his presence. The numbers backed it up. When Rodri played, City controlled games. When he didn't, they looked vulnerable.
Back it goes to Rodri. Rodri pops in the ball. Good ball. Palmer 1-1. And it goes to Rodri. Rodri just outside the penalty area. Trays a little shot. Oh, that is beautiful.
Pep's public praise became more emphatic. He's the best midfield player in the current world by far, but most people still focused on Haaland's 52 goals, or De Bruyne's 31 assists. The Ballon d'Or in 2024 was supposed to change the narrative, a holding midfielder winning football's biggest individual prize.
And I think him winning the Ballon d'Or was actually good for football, because it almost felt like it became the best attacker award. And to be fair, that's always the case in sport, in team sport, whether it be basketball, whether it be American football, whether it be any team sport.
That should have ended the debate, but even then, critics said he didn't deserve it over Vinicius Jr.
This young generation, Vinicius, that they do a fantastic job, and in my opinion, he deserved to win the Golden Ball.
They said attackers are more valuable. They said Rodri's position doesn't produce the kind of impact that wins trophies. The real proof came when Rodri got injured. City collapsed without him.
When he's not there, Rodri, 16 matches, 5 defeats for Man City. He missed 4 games through suspension last season. Man City lost all of them. So Rob, when we're talking about Rodri's injury, these are the sort of numbers that really underline how important his absence could be for Pep Guardiola.
They lost 3 of the 4 Premier League games he missed in the 2023-24 season. The structure that suddenly looked so solid suddenly had cracks. The control that defined their play disappeared. And suddenly, everyone understood what Pep meant. He wasn't exaggerating. He wasn't protecting his player. he was telling the truth. Rodri wasn't just important, he was irreplaceable.
Maybe dink a low ball in, and it's turned into the back of the net. Beautifully by Rodri.
Rodri doesn't dominate through dribbles or wonder goals. He dominates by making the game look boring for the opponent. His core skill is anticipation. He reads where the ball will go, not where it is, so he arrives before danger develops. Against France in the World Cup semi-final, Rodri won 11 duels.
It's a massive advantage, isn't it?
Yeah, I was reading one report of this game in an Italian publication that said he'd won 12 duels in the game, and that was more than the entire France team combined. And duels is one of those stats that I think is a bit nebulous, because I think that's rolling together tackles and headers won, and I couldn't back that up with looking at the Opta numbers, but I don't know, they might have a different data.
That's more than the entire French midfield combined, but none of them looked like tackles because he was already in position. He didn't need to slide, he didn't need to sprint, he just needed to be there. His passing follows the same logic. It isn't flashy, it's devastatingly efficient.
The thing that stood out to me yesterday, and the passing never kind of takes your breath away. He can pass from A to B and he can slide a ball through.
655 completed passes in the tournament, most of them in the final third, all with 92% accuracy. Simple 5-yard passes that keep possession alive.
Everything's just two touch. One touch, two touch, one touch, two touch, get it, go, give it, go, get it, go, give it, go. I almost feel like he's got a supercomputer in his head. Every single time he gets the ball, in 0.2 seconds, he calculates what's the highest risk pass, what's the highest efficiency pass.
Quick switches that shift the point of attack, vertical balls that break defensive lines. Every decision has purpose. Every pass prepares the next attack.
Every single time he gets the ball, in 0.2 seconds, he calculates what's the highest risk pass, what's the highest efficiency pass, what's the chance this guy intercepts the ball if I pass it. Everything is calculated to perfection. And that's a testament to the brilliant player Rodri is.
He controls tempo better than anyone in the world. When Spain need to slow down, he slows it. He takes an extra touch. He draws pressure. He waits for spaces to open. When Spain need to accelerate, he speeds it up with one quick switch. The ball moves from one flank to the other before the opponent can reorganize. This is what control of space actually looks like.
Very scary seeing Rodri coming back off a knee injury. Remember Rodri with one knee, just dictating the whole of the midfield yesterday. It was incredible.
Rodri positions himself so opponents can never play through central areas. He forces them wide, where Spain's press traps them. They have two options: go long and lose possession, or try to play through Rodri and fail. This is why Spain rarely look rushed. Rodri decides the rhythm. Nobody else on the pitch can override it. Not the opponent, not his own teammates. The game flows at his pace.
They're best to kind of press Spain in their kind of attacking third. But Rodri, as Stu Holden observed on commentary, he'll just one touch the ball back away from you, and then you back off him, and then he'll find a bit of space, and then they'll cut through you.
Pace, but control alone isn't enough. What makes Rodri truly special is what he does when his team doesn't have the ball. Rodri's defensive work is the part of his game that goes most unnoticed. That's because he prevents problems before they happen. He screens the centre-backs, blocks passing lanes, and delays counterattacks, all without making highlight reel sliding tackles. The tackles never need to happen because the danger never arrives. His leadership is quiet but absolute. When Spain's young stars like Lamine, Yamal, or Pedri lose concentration, Rodri doesn't scream. He doesn't wave his arms. He doesn't change his body language at all. He just adjusts his position slightly, closes the gap, and restores the shape. That emotional stability is why coaches trust him completely. Luis de la Fuente built Spain's entire tactical structure around Rodri's presence, not because Rodri demands it, but because the team functions differently when he's there. Consistency is the real superpower. Season after season, Rodri rarely produces a poor performance. His availability for a player who covers so much ground is remarkable. He doesn't have off days. He doesn't have games where he disappears. He just shows up, controls the match, and does it again next week. The best compliment you can give him is this: you only fully appreciate Rodri when he isn't there. City lost 3 of 4 Premier League games he missed in the 2023-24 season. The team that looked unstoppable suddenly became beatable. The structure that suffocated opponents suddenly had gaps. One player changed everything. Spain experienced the same drop-off. Without Rodri, the distances between midfield and defense increase, transitions become vulnerable, possession loses its authority, the ball spends more time in dangerous areas, the opposition starts believing they can win. It's not dramatic, it's not obvious to the casual viewer, but the players feel it, the coaches see it, and the results reflect it.
The only thing I would say, if that Spanish team now, if there was one player missing, I think the one player they couldn't replace would be Rodri.
Yeah, it's been the same for City.
Yeah.
All of this came into focus during Spain's 2026 World Cup run. Rodri wasn't just a club player anymore. He was the foundation of a national team's identity.
Personally, that Rodri is at his best, that he didn't do last season with Manchester City, but he's getting back at his best when he got the Ballon d'Or, and that's very, very important for Spain.
Spain entered the tournament with questions. They'd won Euro 2024, but could they do it on the biggest stage? The group stage was sluggish. Critics wondered if they'd peaked too early. Rodri answered by being the best player on the pitch in every knockout game.
It's incomparable right now, you know. He's the best midfielder in the world again for me. You feel like also in that World Cup, you know, he just improved game by game. And today he was outstanding. He is the leader of the Spanish team, and he just gives you so much calm, so much, you know, like confidence also on the pitch as a teammate.
Even when Yamal grabbed the headlines, even when Oyarzabal scored the goals, Rodri was the constant. The semi-final against France was the ultimate statement. Spain limited the best attack in the tournament to 0.3 expected goals. That's the lowest France had produced since 1966. Rodri's stat line reads like a perfect performance: 82 touches, 58 accurate passes, 4 tackles, 4 aerial duels won, 2 recoveries. He dominated physically without ever looking too physical.
He was, and we can only start with that one place. Hand of Rod, hot rod, whatever you want to call him. He was absolutely incredible, and in probably the best all-round tactical display of the World Cup so far, he absolutely led it. He was immense. 85 touches. And for me, it was the domination of the midfield area.
He controlled the game without ever looking rushed.
And just dominated the game. Rodri, like he said, was all over the place. And he almost looked like he was just in cruise control. He was so calm, never took more than 2 touches on the ball.
Pep's warning finally made sense to everyone. Rodri doesn't need to be spectacular, because he makes spectacular football look ordinary. The player nobody believed could be the best in the world just won his country their 2nd World Cup title. Pep was right all along.
He's the best midfield player in the current world, by far.
Rodri won't ever be the player who sells shirts or trends on social media, but he's the player every coach dreams of, the one who makes winning possible. Pep Guardiola warned us. Now, we all see why he was right.